Good evening, everyone. It's David Schlotthauer here with another detailed weather forecast for your Monday afternoon as we're looking ahead at more active weather across the west with more snow, more wind, more rainfall that is coming for next weekend with more active weather across the central U.S. with flood concerns, and we'll be talking a lot about that in this video. Now, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing this video with their family and friends on social media as it really helps out a lot. And also be sure to check out my Weather Force Discord server where you could hang out, talk to me, and talk to other members. Now we're going to walk you through a very detailed weather forecast for the rest of this week into the weekend as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, and a lot of people may be beginning to travel and get things ready for your Christmas vacation. If you're going to a neighbor's house, if you're going across the country, this is going to apply to you really soon. So here's a look at the European model for tomorrow morning, and we do have, again, the continuation of wet weather and snow for California. We have more snow for portions of Montana, the Four Corners, but big time rainfall is anticipated here. In fact, it is raining pretty hard there right now over northern Alabama, northern Georgia, Tennessee. It's on the Doppler radar below this video, as you can see there on the bottom right side. And that's going to continue for a while longer. In fact, all the way through tomorrow, we're going to be looking at moderate to heavy rainfall at times. So make sure you are prepared for the wet weather, okay? Also for the eastern half of the U.S., more scattered showers are anticipated, kind of moist, kind of unstable as that colder air remains to the north and warmer air to the south. More of a zonal flow actually is taking place here, and we'll show you that here in just a little bit. So going forward here, we can see in the next couple of days, still raining over Tennessee, over Kentucky, over West Virginia, the Northeast. Doesn't stop, does it? All this subtropical moisture is being fed in from, say, Texas, from the eastern Pacific as an atmospheric river, and so that's what's taking place throughout Wednesday over the deep south. And then another push of moisture continues all the way into Thursday. I mean, this could be constant for some locations with moderate to heavy rainfall over, say, Missouri, over Tennessee, over Kentucky. I mean, we're looking at another 3 to 4 days of this. Could even last a little longer than that, maybe even into Friday. We're looking at some pretty intense rainfall rates here over Tennessee, over the Carolinas, over Georgia, and then of course maybe another amount of snowfall is anticipated there for, say, southern Wisconsin, if you're in northern Illinois, if you are in, say, portions thereof if you're in portions there of Minnesota, there we go. If you're in portions there of, say, Iowa, a little bit of snow is anticipated. And then, of course, more wet weather back west. Who loves it? I love it as well, and I'm sure you all that watch my videos from the West Coast are probably enjoying these unsettled weather days because we need a lot of rain here. We need the snow. We could really fill up those reservoirs, but too much too quick could also lead to problems. So by the weekend, it is stormy, lots of snow, lots of rain and wind, and colder temperatures all across the west. So this has been the theme for a while. Ever since early December, we're just getting these storms coming in, and that's great news for our reservoirs. Also, more rainfall down here across Texas. And then another surge of that moisture is going to slam Tennessee and the deep south again. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to have much in the way of severe weather, but in the way of severe weather, taking that out of the forecast, we could be looking at a lot of flooding because you're just going to have rain, and too much, too quick is going to lead to a lot of problems on those roadways. So that's going to continue with another big storm. Maybe by the end of this forecast, by the middle of December, we could be looking at another heavy rainfall event, and this could bring in maybe a slim chance of severe weather, but there is a lot of uncertainty in regards to how this is all going to pan out. Very heavy snow to fall to the north. Another big storm hitting California. So yes, the pattern looks to turn pretty active by the middle of December. And look at that. Lots of snowfall maybe for the Northeast. But 10 days out, we cannot trust models that far out. Unfortunately, I wish we could have better model data to where we could forecast these systems very far out, but unfortunately we can't. More rain, more snow for California. It's just going to keep on hitting that area of the US. And yeah, going out to 10 days, that's what your forecast could look like. So now, when we take a look at how much rainfall these storms, especially across California, Oregon, and Washington, you're going to be looking at quite a bit of rainfall. But not only that, look at the southeast, the deep south, and the Ozarks, the Appalachians. Lots of rainfall is anticipated here, especially all the way from Arkansas, Louisiana, into Tennessee. My goodness. Some areas of Tennessee could get as much as maybe 6 to 8 inches. Might even see up to almost 10 inches of rainfall in isolated spots through December the 15th. So that's going to really lead to moderate flood concerns on the rivers, on the creeks, the streams, maybe some minor landslides in the steepest terrain in the Appalachians. So please consider that. If you live near a mountainside, you may see some landslide potential out of this, because there's going to be just so much rain, so much water accumulating here in a rather short amount of time, within about 7 to 10 days. And more rain, more moisture up here, which is good to see, but that will likely be in the form of snow. And then more rain and more snow back here across California. Could see as much as 4 to 10 inches of rainfall in the next 10 days. So now, with that being said, we do have a moderate, or yeah, that's a slight risk for flash flooding. Close enough to moderate, but it is up there. We're definitely seeing a threat for some flooding, especially over Arkansas, over Tennessee, where there's going to be a lot of rain that accumulates here. So there's a 15% chance within a 25 miles of a point where you might see urban, river, small stream, or creek flooding in your area. So make sure if you encounter flooded roadways, turn around, do not drown. That's the saying. If you encounter anything on the roadways, freeways, or any underpass or any back country road that could get flooded. And so here's a look now at the snowfall totals. We talked about the rainfall, but we never cannot forget about how much snowfall you might see through the 15th of December. By the way, I'm not making a white Christmas forecast probably until tomorrow, or probably by early next week, where there's just so much uncertainty in regards to the models, if some of you were probably wondering about that. So snowfall totals across the west, anywhere between maybe 2 to 4 feet. Yeah, there might be some snowfall accumulations here in the Sierras, in the northern Sierras, as well as the southern Sierras, that could get as much as maybe 5 to 8 feet of snow in the next 10 days. That's a lot. Also for the northern Cascades, you might get as much as 3 to 6 feet of snow, and the higher elevations here really going to get some decent accumulation, including for Colorado, within the next 10 days. And another winter storm here could develop that could bring a lot of snow, but again, that is really far out in time. That's beyond the 8 to 10 day forecast, and so there's a lot of uncertainty in regards to see if any of you may even get snow at all out of that storm. Very far out. So now, your temperatures. We want to look at this because there's going to be some cold nights, especially for the northern tier of the U.S., like Montana, the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, including for our friends up there in Canada. Going to see temperatures below zero for several days, perhaps. Look at this. For Tuesday morning when you wake up, temperatures are really going to be cold out there. -10, -20 degrees in some areas. That's not going to change very much. During the day, still down below -5 degrees in many areas. Temperatures barely kind of sketching out that negative territory. If you're in northern Montana, northern portion of North Dakota, going to feel that chill, and my goodness, by Wednesday morning, it's going to even be colder. Look at this, -15 to 20 degrees. There could be even some isolated areas out here in the country in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, that might even see temperatures as cold as negative 30 degrees for your Wednesday morning. That is cold. If you're down here to the south, not as cold. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s to middle 60s for Wednesday morning, and then warming up into the 80s. So if you really hate the cold weather up there in Canada, dive southward into the deep south, where you're going to find temperatures probably in the upper 70s to low 80s. Been very, very warm out there across the deep south lately. Really not much in the way of cold Arctic outbreaks yet, as it is a little too early for that. But usually by now we should start looking for those cold Arctic air masses to get further south. And then by the time we go towards the end of the model run forecast out to 10 days, we can see another Arctic air mass really settles in here for the high plains, for the western half of Canada. Temperatures negative 10 to negative 20 degrees. And yes, this time it does extend its reach all the way down towards central and northern Florida, where you could see temperatures in the 30s and 20s for Thursday morning. But again, that is very far out. If we look at the 0Z run, you can see just how different this kind of is. So we will watch this very closely to see on how this will evolve with each progressing model run. Now to your observed temperatures in the last 30 days on average. But look at this. Montana, portions of British Columbia have had temperatures 10 to almost 15 degrees below average within the last 30 days. That is fairly impressive for that average. It's been near average to above average back here across the central eastern U.S., the deep south, portions of the deep south, the southeast, and northeastern New England has been very warm as well. Temperatures there between 2 to almost 4 degrees on average above the long-term average for the 30-day period. So now, is that going to change? Are we going to see a pattern flip coming? Well, yes and no, depending on how you look at it. Let's take a look. So for Tuesday morning, temperatures are going to be well below average here in Canada, well below average in portions of the West. That's throughout the next 24 hours. Pattern doesn't change very much. All the way out to day 5, still really warm out here across the Midwest and the deep South. No winter chill yet. It's going to be a while probably. Portions of, if you're in Quebec and Ontario, Canada, temperatures are going to be below average there. And then this continues all the way out to, say, 200 hours. There is another Arctic air mass that could settle in across the West. That's just been the theme ever since late October. I mean, actually even mid-October. It's just been cold after cold after cold air mass across much of the Rockies, the Pacific Northwest, Western Canada, and California. I'm loving it. I can take every bit of it. Above average temperatures do remain in the forecast through the middle of December. Maybe by the 10-day forecast here, temperatures may flip. But again, we could say that all we want, right? You could wish it, like play the wishing game, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. Very far out. Temperatures may warm up a little bit here across the West, but still overall pretty chilly out west throughout the next 10 to 15 days. So therefore, when we take a look at the Climate Prediction Center, we can see with what is all expected here. The outlook runs all the way through December the 15th, and it does call for below average temperatures still for the West, with well below average temperatures for Alaska. I mean, yeah, for Fairbanks, could have well below average likely chances of those temperatures. And then, of course, if you're in the Midwest and the Deep South and the eastern half, you are likely or leaning above to likely above for, say, the extreme northeast there. So winter has not come for you yet. It's going to be a little bit, probably. The Great Lakes also likely above as far as those chances go. That continues all the way through the 19th of December. Really warm for the Northeast. So a white Christmas, probably not on the list. We'll see, though. Christmas is beyond the 19th of December, so we have a long way to go. We have literally 3 to almost 4 weeks away before Christmas kind of comes. So, I mean, this pattern could look a lot different. But for right now, warm back in the northeast, staying cold and chilly across the west, and even maybe getting a little cooler if you are in the Midwest. As far as rainfall or snowfall goes, definitely in the green. We are likely above as far as California, Nevada, the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, well above. Chances there, including for the Great Lakes. So that means a active weather pattern is setting up, and that's why we're going to probably be making videos almost every day here. Leaning below average chances over Texas and New Mexico, unfortunately. You haven't seen much in the way of rainfall this year. Hopefully that pattern does change where you can get some moisture there. But unfortunately for right now, it's looking pretty dry. Okay, well, that's gonna do with this video, folks. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing. It's an honor that you're able to, for me to make these videos for y'all, because I do enjoy these. I absolutely do, and I cannot wait to live stream on a winter storm as Alex Miller, Candy S, and much of my staff team here on YouTube and Discord have been asking me nicely, when's David's next live stream? I know you all are really wanting me to live stream, but when there's not a lot going on, there's nothing I can do, right? I'm not gonna stream on nothing. It's just boring, right? So yeah, but don't worry, I have it all planned out. We will be doing a lot of live streaming on winter weather this year than what we had last year, okay? So make sure you share, like, and subscribe for the latest information so you could watch me live stream and get alerts when I have these videos out. All right? Check out our Weather Force Discord server. There's also a link in the description below this video leading to that server, so don't miss out. Peace, folks.